कर सकता है तो मैं क्यों नहीं, क्या है उनमें ऐसा जो मुझ में नहीं। मैं तैयार हूँ, मैं तैयार हूँ।
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great privilege and pleasure to join all of you for this online session. I want to thank you all and the member of this community, Metamorphosis, and particularly Sonal, the founder of Metamorphosis. It's all of you who are truly making this community vibrant, full of inspiration, and for transformation of the people. Friends, I am Captain Pratap Mehta, mind transformation and wellness coach. I am also a former mariner and aviator, both. I served Navy for over 25 years, including the 71 Indo-Pak War. I've been sailing the ship, commanding the ship, and also flying anti-submarine helicopters, commanded the helicopter squadron. But my passion was transformed into action after I quit Navy. It's been more than 25 years since I quit Navy, took a retirement, and my life's mission is to guide through expensive wisdom of ancient Indian philosophy and effective modern techniques. Basically, empowering people to realign themselves with the truth and their own potential. So friends, if you are a parent here, writer, educator, trainer, whatever it is, or writing a new book, or my friend Unnati preparing for her exams, so don't worry, but focus on what you can do. So whether it's your academics or your professional life, let's see how this magic of great attitude can help us achieve excellence. So we all look at the sports stars, and we have one sports star here, Unnati Priya, sitting with us from BHU, and she has been my student for over 2 years now. So we all look at sports stars, musicians, artists, and say, wow, what an amazing talent. I wish I could possess that talent, to write a book or play that music or even play that game. So people often confuse themselves with the thought that excellence is all about skill. However, excellence is not about skill alone. In fact, a major portion of excellence has nothing to do with skill. I know you must be quite surprised at that. Beyond a certain point, skill or ability is the most useless thing to possess beyond a certain point. It's what you do with that talent that counts. What you do with that talent that counts, and that's beyond the point. It is called attitude. Attitude counts way more than the talent. I'm sure I'm discarding the most believed theory, but as I progress, you will learn about this. I shall talk to you for about 40 minutes. You may use chat box, and Sonalji, you please do the honor of if there are any questions which need immediate attention. Otherwise, we will have a dedicated 15 minutes question answer session.
Yes.
Also. But I'm quite happy interacting and talking to you. It is not about completing what I have prepared to say. No. It's about making sure the point is driven home. So, friends, what is attitude? Great. It is your response to the people and circumstances around you, be it positive or negative. So attitude can be positive or negative, but in most common thing like in college, normally say वो उन्नति तो बहुत attitude दिखाती है, that's, but it is used in negative sense over there. Am I right, Unnati? In BHU में, eh?
Yes, sir.
Uh, but it is not necessarily positive, negative only, it's also positive. The attitude of a person is determined by, now remember this, you may like to take short notes if you wish to, by discriminatory use of his ideas, values, beliefs, perceptions. All this, when a person is rational thinking, he uses these things like ideas, values, beliefs, perception. It shows in their attitude. So the deciding factor in life is how you manage setbacks and challenges. That is the key word. And how you manage your setbacks and challenges will depend on your attitude. Let me share a story, my own personal story. I joined Indian Naval Academy at Cochin as a cadet when I was just about 18 years old. Now I'm 70 plus, mid 70s. I was from Rajasthan University, and since most of my ancestors served the state of Rajputana then for last 700-800 years as ministers, rulers, and fought battles, I had a fair amount of knowledge what Naval Academy will offer me in terms of physical and mental state. But after having joined in, the reality passed all my imagination. Life was much tougher and there was hardly any time given to sleep and rest. On the third day after joining, being a Sunday, there was a cross-country run planned for all of us, all the cadets. It was 12 kilometers around Wellington Island at Cochin. Anyone been to Cochin? Sona? You? No. Okay. So nobody was allowed to fall off or report sick. That is the military standards on joining on third day. So all those who completed the run, including myself, were no great athletes, but had great attitude to accomplish the task. Are you getting the point? Attitude to accomplish the task. So small things can make a big difference. And all of a sudden, we are not going to change. If you haven't got the attitude today, you are not going to change overnight. So it will take time. And the biggest challenge is, you know what? For change, when you want to change, what is your biggest challenge? Please, our biggest challenge, dear friends, is your habits. And you have heard this very often, habits die hard. Correct? That is your biggest challenge. So let me share another story for my college days in Jaipur. I used to also play football, by the way. I was playing football for my college. I used to play hockey for the university. I used to play tennis for the university. But anyway, there was a football match between two local teams in those days, I think 60s. All of a sudden, one team found their goalkeeper was sick. They searched for a replacement, could not find one. The team captain, while desperately searching for a goalkeeper, saw a He was going around that time looking किसी को भी पकड़ के ले आओ इधर मुर्गे को एक goalkeeper. And I'm sure you, if you recollect your college days, that's how it used to be. And that team captain saw a truck full of watermelons being unloaded. He saw one man on the truck and another man below. The man in the truck would throw the watermelon and the man below would grab it and shove it in the storage. Okay. And the man in the truck would throw the watermelon, and sure enough, that guy would grab it and shove it in the storage. The football team captain thought this was the right man. So he would catch every ball without fail. Instead of watermelon, it has to replace by football. That's it, isn't it? What do you say, Sachin? Yeah.
Yeah,
Sachin also had his internship after architecture in Udaipur. Now that he's living in San Diego, it's a different thing. Okay, the final match was a draw. Both teams equal in goal. Finally, during penalty kicks, the opponent team captain kicked the ball. Wherever the ball came, the goalkeeper grabbed the ball and shoved it into the goal post. That is what was his habit. The better team finally lost the match. Friends, that is what the habits are. The goalkeeper held the leather ball like a watermelon and put it into the goal post. Self goal. The greatest resistance comes from our habits. It comes from our habits. When you try to change, you fail. So, friends, do not give up. Do not give up. There's another story you probably must have heard. There was a man in Great Britain studying at Harrow School. Practically most prime ministers from England came from there, Harrow. Okay. That boy had difficulty speaking English. He was a British boy, but he had difficulty. Have you heard this story, anyone?
no.
Okay. No. You keep yourself unmuted, everyone. Feel free to talk to me, interact, and even if you agree, say don't agree, I love it. But that boy never gave up. He had difficulty understanding English grammar. He could not pronounce correctly, but he never gave up. Later, years passed, he was called to speak at Oxford University, where all the guys doing major were in English. This man walked into the auditorium. They applauded, welcoming him. He came to the podium, waited for applause to die down, like what happens when Modi ji goes to Vigyan Bhavan, die down. So he spoke three words, three words. He repeated those three words three times. That was his speech. Picked up his cane and walked out of the auditorium. The audience were clapping 100 times more. You know who was this guy? Former Prime Minister of England, Sir Winston Churchill. And you know what were those three words? Never give up. Second time, never give up. And third time, never give up. Remember, the habits will try to drag you down. What finally matters is your attitude to overcome those habits. I'm sure there was a lady who got spinal cancer in 1999. Her husband was Major Bikram Singh Malik, who was fighting Kargil war at that time. The doctors in the military hospital did 3 surgeries on her spine. She had 183 stitches. During the surgery, she became paralyzed waist down. Have you heard about this woman? Paraplegic. She couldn't sit. She decided to explore. She started trying javelin throw from her wheelchair, swimming, shot put. At 31 age, she won 53 national gold medals. Unnati, I hope you are listening to that. 35 international medals. In 2012, she received Arjun Award, wife of a military officer, then major during Kargil War. In 2016, at Rio Olympic, she got silver medal at the age of 46. She was persistently consistent, congruent to what she was doing. Friends, she is Deepa Malik. Now you know her. Eh? She was conferred Padma Shri in 2017. So let the habits not pull you back. So how can we give up? She says, life is not over. Disability is only a state of mind. I want you to see recently released movie Chandu Champion. Have you seen this movie Chandu Champion? How many of you been there? I was lucky to be invited for the premiere, and we went to see the Chandu Champion. The film is based on extraordinary story of an athlete who never gave up. Same kind of a story. Youngster, village guy, helping the akhadas, local wrestlers. He wanted to win the gold medal at the age of 14 years. He joined military, ran away from his home, joined army, and while during one of the 65 wars, he again became paraplegic. He swam, he did all kinds of practice, and finally, in the Para-Olympic gold medal at Munich in 72, he got the silver medal for India. His name was Mullikant Petkar. Friends, the stories are innumerable of successful people. Has anyone got 183 stitches? Has anyone got spinal cancer? How many times they decided to change? They were pulled down by the society, by the organizations. The greatness does not mean you fail. The greatness means despite failure, you never give up. Despite failure, you never give up. That is attitude. You know how the recruitment of the Australian Army commandos is done? Australian Army commandos, when they recruit, they go through physical stamina test, everything. You know, you can pass. The one final question is, you know what? How many times have you failed? And most of them very proudly said, I have never failed. But that is not the qualification they are looking for. If the moment a person says he has never failed, he is out. He is not recruited for the Australian Army Commandos. They believe if a person has failed, he can respond to any situation to rise again. A person who has never experienced failure, he doesn't know. As a commando, when you go into an attack or some subversive activities, if you fail, you get a shock of your life. I'm failing for the first time. I'm the topper of my course. They don't know what to do. The small things will make a difference when you don't give up. You will not change in one day. The habits will drag you down. Don't give up, keep going. So that is the attitude. The other thing I want to focus is on your reaction. Attitude means your reaction to a situation and the people. The medics of the defense forces in India, and in fact any nation, have the most challenging task thrown at them. When the soldiers with gunshots injured severely are evacuated from the base hospital, this is the case of a Kargil war, and the base hospital was in Pathankot. The doctors and staff said confidently, if you bring a soldier here, we'll make sure he goes back to the front. This is called attitude of responsibility. Attitude of responsibility, integrity, ethics, and above all, love for the work they do. That is why so confidently they say, if you bring a soldier here, we will send him back to the front. Have you seen Republic Day parade on Kartavya Path at Delhi on television or live? Some of you
Yes.
must have seen that parade. Lot of things happen and lot of things are fine-tuned and coordinated in precise 90 minutes. It's all about attitude of precision, just in 90 minutes. The most fascinating part is the fly past by more than 40 aircrafts of Indian Air Force taking off from different airfields in India and flying over Rajpath, now called Kartavya Path, flying over Kartavya Path. Never one aircraft got second late. Never one aircraft got a second late. What do you say, friends? What do you say? It is about attitude of pilots to do their duty with precision. This is called attitude of precision. So, Unnati, my dear friend, its attitude is not only about negative things, attitude is about good things also. So tomorrow when you go back to your class, उनको बताना मेरे पास भी attitude है. Okay? So why precision? What's so great about the attitude of precision? In war, nothing less is accepted, as it would mean what? Fall of a nation. Similarly, in corporate world and for the professionals, it would mean loss of business. Yes, for family, lack of precision means loss of relationships. For students, means denial of admission to the higher studies. Yes, friends, value of attitude is not only in armed forces, but also in every act of our life, from corporate world to academics to home with family. Everywhere attitude is important. So friend, the difference between those rich and poor nations is not the age of the nation or the heritage of the nation. I want to specifically share with you here, in India, the most common slogan is, look at my heritage, 4,000 years old. We are so proud, and we, at the drop of the hat, drop of a coin, we want to say 4,000 years old heritage. हम सोने की चिड़िया थे। डियर फ्रेंड्स, आज क्या हो, सिर्फ पुरानी हेरिटेज और हिस्ट्री को बुलाने से आप विकसित और विकास नहीं हो सकता। Then this is another level which I do in a 3-hour session on attitude development. So what I'm today talking is only the awareness about the value of attitude. That's it. If you analyze the conduct of the people around the world, and particularly from the armed forces, all corporate houses, multinationals, everyone has, they all learn from the armed forces only. The management lessons come from the armed forces. Harish sir, do you agree or disagree with me? Thank you, sir. Vidhu sir, what do you say?
Definitely, yes. It comes from
Yes,
armed forces.
that's why, thank you, sir. That's why at least out of 5, 3 stories are from armed forces and my personal experiences. So it is observed that majority abide by the following principles in life. Ethics, number 1. Ethical behavior and moral values, principle. That is attitude. Number 2, integrity. Doing the right thing in a reliable way. Doing the right thing in a reliable way. Number 3, responsibility. The fact of being accountable and ready to take the blame. Responsibility. I was just watching the television yesterday and today. New members of parliament have been taken in. It is just their thought process. Some people's thought process do not match with the thought process of those who are in the part of the government. But who is taking the responsibility as a member of parliament to serve their constituency? Only disruption. This is the attitude. Respect. Important thing, respect by the majority of citizens towards other person. Respect for the fellow citizens. If someone has made a mistake or not driving properly, you don't start getting into altercation, and or sometimes people shoot each other, Road rage, what they call it. Punctuality. I'm so happy the 11, 12 people who have joined here, they were so keen and eager. They came here even 5 minutes before the scheduled time. That's punctuality. Respect to fulfill the obligation in time. That is attitude. Productivity with quality. The will to be productive and quality work. You all see the work that goes on for developing infrastructure, like in Bombay. I'm sure a couple of us are from Bombay. 15, 20 years back when the flyovers were made, they were just made, the roads were made available, the motors transportation could pass. They were never painted. They were never that below the flyover, the garbage kept lying there for years. It is still lying today. But today you see, today I went to the town in the morning. Sonalji thinks she was busy. I was also busy for 5 hours since morning. Okay. So we are both in the same boat, but we love to do what we are doing. So when I went to the town, I saw the coastal road and the tunnel. Before they are handed over, they are already painted and finished from outside. That is the quality of work. Wherever the work has been handed over to BMC or the administration, the garbage has been removed. That is productivity with quality. Another thing I want to say is regulation. Respect for law and regulation of the state. How important it is. If there is no policeman at the traffic signal, I will jump the red light. If policemen at the, let's say 4 o'clock in the morning, when I get up, I see lot of people going in two-wheelers. Nobody is wearing helmet. Policemen nahi hai. So that is respect for law and regulation. There are so many points I can tell you, keep sharing with you, which are essential to develop attitude. When you do a full workshop with me, you will learn in detail how to develop those attitudes, how to develop those characteristics which we learn from the armed forces. In poor countries, a small minority follows these basic principles. In poor countries like India, small minority follows these basic principles in their daily life. We are not poor because we lack natural resources or because nature has been cruel to us. How cruel the nature has been to Japan, do you know? How many times they get what do you call, volcano eruption, earthquake, tsunami? America, Florida, how many times cyclones they get? They all stand up within a few weeks, back their feet. We keep crying over it in India. We lack will to follow and teach these characteristics, these principles of working of the rich and developed societies. If you see these rich countries, how old are they? Australia, New Zealand, Canada, USA. These three countries are just 200, less than 200 years old. USA, less than 400 years old. India and Egypt, 5,000-year-old history and culture. What has happened to them? So let's devote our time for attitude education in our institutions. Sonalji, you are a catalyst. You have been talking to various institutes. I just want to add here because we have seasoned trainers, coaches. The education is in 3 domains: cognitive, psychomotor, affective. Cognitive is knowledge. Bindas diya jata hai knowledge. Available on internet and libraries. Practice, there are laboratories, there are places where you do a lot of practice, practicals. The third is the affective domain, that is attitude building. And that is not touched upon by our teachers and trainers across the board. We deliver a training program, but has the transformation taken place? The transformation of the organization, of the family, of the state will take place when attitude is also developed simultaneously. Therefore, friends, I always say work on your attitude. If you want to keep a beard, trim it regularly, like I do, keep doing it myself. Don't be like a nerd, this hair coming out that way. It's unprofessional, but it shows on your attitude. And girls, dress up properly, meticulously. People have grown big by paying attention to small, small things. So how many of you put an alarm clock to get up in the morning? Please say me in the chat box if you have been using alarm clock to get up on a
You can switch on
regularly
your
or
cameras
irregularly, whatever
and
it
the
is.
forum is open for you to answer. You can switch on your cameras.
Hmm.
You can speak.
Pooja, me, Vidhu, me, Unnati, me. My God, everyone is so proud, you know. And how many of you put a snooze at the last, at least once? थोड़ा 5 मिनट और सो लेता हूँ. How many of you put a snooze and sleep for another 5 minutes? My God,
I don't,
me.
sir, I don't put alarm and snooze both because the mind is already conditioned.
Arey, you are superb. You know, that's right. That is what it should be. Mind is conditioned. So it's not about the alarm clock. It's about the attitude. You know what is this attitude? Not samadhi. You're now. Okay. You are stealing the thunder out of my talk. Okay, never mind. Great. I'm so happy and respects to you. If you put an alarm and get up at that time, what does it mean? What kind of an attitude is this? Please put it in the chat box now.
Dependence.
ये थोड़ा difficult question है. ऐसे नहीं है. You can ask me question and put me into difficulty. Let me, before you do that, let me put you in difficulty now. Dependence, discipline. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Some more. There are not many, only 11 of us over here. Okay. So it's about attitude. I don't respect what I have decided to do yesterday. Means you are disrespecting your own decision to get up at that particular time. I don't have any determination at all. It gives attitude to postpone the event. Do you realize this? There are so many the vocabulary, catchy words. Respect for what you have decided, decision, determination. It gives attitude to postpone event. This will go down in your examination. It will go down in your job. It will go down in relationship, everything in your life. The small attitude of taking that 5 minute extra of the snooze. 5 minutes. Remember, a person who has better IQ can find answers quickly, but those who have great attitude can find better solutions. Recently, a media report, newspaper says, if you have heard it, 3,500 IIT students unemployed. They didn't get the job. Protesting against the government. And most of those 3,000, many of those 3,500 are in that bracket of top 50 guys, percentage wise. Why they have not been selected by the potential employers? I have also been on the board of recruitment of some companies, jewelry companies to be specific, in the seats in the more than 15 years back. When you recruit someone to shortlist and resume, you look at the education qualification. That's what HR has been doing it. And that's the starting ground. But when it came to interview, finally, out of those, the best educationally qualified guy, I, as one of the expert on the recruiting panel, where there was MD, CEO, we were recruiting for general managers and manager level people. I rejected those 3 top guys over there. Why? I said, you need a person who is highly qualified. But when I questioned him, his attitude was stubborn, not willing to learn the process of the company. And that guy was asking for a very high salary. Why should I pay high salary to a topper who cannot solve give solutions to the challenges being faced in the company, the export challenges, the the productivity, the new items being produced. I'm not a jewelry expert, but incidentally, let me tell you, 2002, I went to US and did a diamond sorting course with GIA. Okay, with that little background, the jewelry companies have been hiring me from time to time because I set up their institutions, the process, and help them in selection of the people. Okay, so that anyone whom you hire with good degree, he has got a very stubborn high-headedness. His attitude means willingness or unwillingness. A person with high attitude, with high degree, he is unwilling to relearn there. He said, मेरे को सब मालूम है. I don't have to go for training. You just tell me, I will understand. ऐसा नहीं होता है. The person with average academic qualification, the company can train him to their specific requirement. And the cost at which he comes is half of that guy from there. That is why so many IIT guys only want salary of 1 crore plus, but when asked by the employer, one of my friend professor is one of the things, that's what he shared with me, who is from the IIT Kharagpur. Look, the people don't get selected. It is not. It is what we are lacking is the attitude training being part of the curriculum. Attitude is not something which is additional to the training. It's the question of how teachers include attitude. The trainers include attitude training within the same thing, what they are doing. That is the importance I want to share with you. And basically, attitude is your reaction to a person or a situation. Is your attitude. Your ability to find solutions is an attitude. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, for listening to me patiently. And I'll be happy to take on your questions if you have any.
Salute to your spirit of relentlessly speaking for the last 45 minutes. This is an attitude itself.